I'm good with that. Now, since we're in the truck, I'm going to grab this. So this is max load 70,000. I think the full load on this volume-wise is 80. So we are running a little shy. That's fine. I just want to get all of this. Oh, come on, truck. You can do this. I was saying something about this being a totally adequate truck for our farm. I mean, obviously, once we're on a farm track, it doesn't have too much of a problem. Pulling uphill on fields, yeah, not quite so easy to do. Hi, horses. Not sure what I'm going to do with that bunker there, because obviously we're not making silage. Well, we're making silage, but we're not. We need to select that one. Unload. If I remember rightly, the U button is the one that switches between front and back, front and rear tank. So as soon as that's empty, select the rear tank and unload that one. Nice. And as soon as that's empty, done. Select the rear trailer and empty that one. I'm not sure which tank we have. A forward tank there. So let that empty and we'll select the back one. And magic. Okay. So as soon as that's all done, we can head back to the other field. I don't think the other field is going to fill this. Although that said, we do have a little over half a harvester load in the loading wagon. So where do we want to park this truck? I think the land is flattest at the corner. So probably along here. Though turning around is obviously going to be a little bit interesting. We can turn that off now. I'll get this completely unloaded. I'm not sure where the harvester is going to end up. It gets filled. So dump that in there. This might be more than a hopper. Or it might not be. Okay. Let's fold that back to turn that engine off. Oh, okay. That up, and we probably should unfold it while I get this out of the way. Or not. Let's back that out. This out of the way. Okay, that is sufficient. Turn that off. Back to the harvester and turned on. Actually, that probably will. So, I mean, conflicting views here about which way round this field I should be going. Going this way round means that dude. Try that again without killing the crop. So yes, because the pipe's on this side, it can't be damaged by trees or hedges or whatever. But there are no trees or hedges on this field, so technically I could go around this field clockwise, which makes it easier to empty if we fill up before completing a circuit. At this field, I'm not getting quite so good a yield as I did on the other one, by the looks of it. Let's jump here. It's in the ballpark. What was it? 9,500. We did get a couple of patches of 105. So I guess yeah, most of this yield is 95%. But the thing we want to watch is the environmental score adjustments. And more importantly, what our environmental selling bonus is. So that will be a good thing. Okay. That's the first edge. Let's go forwards. Forwards is a very good direction to take. And engage, go. I'm already more than halfway full, and I still have the other two sides of the triangle to do, so we're going to be full before we get to the end. Another patch of damaged crop. Said I don't think we got tornadoes. I didn't see any, but that shower yesterday, I think it was a hail, or last session, I think that was a hail shower as opposed to a rain shower, so that could have damaged some of our crops. There's another edge. Oh, forwards, go! So again, this is an interesting yield. I think we're going to be close to the end of the field. The last one was a little more irregular. I'm trying to figure out, is this field almost the same size as the one we just did? Still very close to being full. And 5, 4, 3. Okay, yeah, so if we could use course plate workers, what it would do would be come back to here. And then extend the pipe. Then there's room here to empty the harvester. I suppose if I do I want to do wheat or barley? I could do this field as a wheat field. Not sure what I'm going to do with the fields on the other side of the street. So put that there, forwards, turn off. And then this one, fold that in. Let's go forwards. Forwards is good. Turn that on. And there you go. So that's how course play worker will do it. I've also got a lot of rocks in this field, and I've got some damaged crop there. Some more. Oh well. It's kind of like seasons in Farm Sim 19. Wheelismus's seasons mod, where you would plant crop, there's a random chance that the crop doesn't germinate. So you end up with patches of crop not grown. Oops, keep that turned on, lower that down, turn on the doodad, and off we go. So it's not a big deal, and it's completely outside of my control. I'm short of putting a roof over the field, which would mean that it wouldn't get sunlight and so nothing would grow. There are going to be patches of crop that doesn't grow, and you just have to live with it. Yes. I mean, there's an argument to be made both ways. Obviously, this is more favourable to people who like an element of realism without getting too deeply engrossed. There was a lot involved in old season, in Realism Assist seasons, and I enjoyed it. I did say I wasn't too. There were features in old seasons that I kind of missed. The multiple stages of grass, and weather on grass. So if you leave hay in the field and it rains, your hay gets destroyed. You leave straw in the field and it rains. But that was the most of it. I mean, I do, Giants original, one day equals 1 month. That was a very bad plan. And I'm glad that they listened to the community and said, oh, okay, we're gonna, you can play up to 28 days per season, which is not something we had under Realismus. It was, I want to say, can't remember. I want to say it was 10 maximum or something like that. I can't remember. It's been so long. But I personally, I would never play a 28-day season. Typically, I think most people, even back in old season days, would play a 3-day season. I'm doing a 4-day season because it works out as each in-game day is a week, approximately. So I have 4 weeks to a month. Most of the time I'll sleep through 4 or, I'll sleep through 3 and 4. But it gives me time to do a thing if the weather's really bad. And 3 was what Realismus recommended. You play at 3 times speed with a 3 days per month. And it's that level of play rate is enough to, if it rains, it's not a complete disaster. If you're playing 1-day seasons and it rains, anything you plan to do that day is probably not going to happen, and you're not going to harvest anything. Or if you do, you're going to harvest a minuscule amount of what's available. But yeah, the big thing was grass, and I think somebody did attempt a grass mod for Farm Sim 22. I can't remember. I don't think whoops, that was the wrong button to press. I can't remember if I used it or whether I even tried. Oh, Whiffle. Eeny, meeny, miny, that one. The other mod we had back in Farm Sim 19, there were 2 of them actually. There was the manure mod, which gave us attachable pipes, and you attach the pipe to the slurry tank and you attach the pipe to another thing, and you could then pump slurry into the tank. Liquid fertilizer, you could attach a pipe to a liquid fertilizer IBC and fill up your sprayer, and I like it was a little bit of work, but it was good. And then the other one was the fixed seeds mod, where you buy specific seeds. You want to plant wheat, you've got to buy wheat seeds. You want to plant grass, you got to buy grass seed. And you went out, you planted a field of wheat, and then okay, my next field I want barley in. You've got to unload the wheat seed and put in the barley seed. And it worked for any seeder or planter in game. And the more recent ones, Giants has done something to the equipment so that you can't lock the seed type. Basically what this mod did was it disabled the ability to select seeds. So you couldn't, if you had a thing connected, you couldn't press the Y key to tab between which seeds I can plant. And it was a good little mod, and it encouraged a little bit more realism, a little bit more thought, because okay, I've got some seed left over from last year, so maybe I want to plant a field of that so that I can that up, so that I can use up some of the seed I had last year. Okay, good. Good. And turn it on. We go. The other nice thing about that mod is you could unload seed from a potato planter. I think from, I can't remember sugar beets. I never did sugar beets, so I did sugar beets on Estancia Lapacho as I was testing out the map, and then that's the last time I did sugar beets. Not sugar beets, sugar cane. Sugar beets is always seed, but potatoes, you can load potato seed or potatoes into a planter in order to plant your next crop. It's a nice little function. You know, I have to buy an absolute ton of potato seed for my first planting, and if I pick a small field, I'll generate thousands of litres of potatoes, but I can then turn some of those into seed potatoes for the next year. So it's a perpetually regenerating crop, and I can sell the excess, and the excess is worth a heck of a lot of money. But this seed mod actually allowed you to unload potato seeders, so you didn't end up with, oh, I want to upgrade my potato seeder. Oh, but I've got a bunch of potatoes in the seeder, and you know, I'm going to lose them if I don't empty it. I don't know, sometimes I think it would be fun to go back and have a look. Yeah, remind myself what was available. Unfortunately, I've had a hard drive failure on my PC, so I've lost a lot of the game saves. And while you can reload Farm Sim 17, Farm Sim 19, the mod hubs are empty. And a lot of the mods I used were from, there was a UK mod site that had a lot of really nice mods, and yeah, they're lost to time unless you had them saved somewhere on your PC. They're gone. One of my favourite was GTX made an AR frame which functions sort of kind of like a a hook lift, but instead of being a hitch on the back of a module, and a hook would come off the truck to pick it up, the AR frame, the modules sat on legs. Actually, I can think of something that looks like it right now. These things. So an AR frame is basically a box or a tipper or whatever, a tank, something like that, that sits on legs, and you back your truck into, under it, you fold up the legs, and you need one truck and multiple modules. So if today I'm going out to harvest, I'm probably going to have tractors with grain carts like I've got in this situation, but I would have a truck come with a tanker on the back that was loaded with diesel. And so as I went round and harvested all the fields around the map, my harvester's good for these fields. Some of those fields at the top there, I can barely harvest the entire field on one tank of diesel. And if I do 2 of them, I need to refuel the harvester. And so having a truck with a tank full of diesel on the back means I can, refill my tractors, my harvesters, etc., etc. When I went out spraying crops, I would take the tractor with the sprayer on it, and I would bring a truck with a tanker full of fertilizer or herbicide. When I went out seeding, I would bring the truck with an auger cart attachment full of seed, so I could replenish the truck, replenish the planter. You could also add a trailer with another auger attachment module on the back, and I would use that to carry fertilizer. So if I had a seeder which needed fertilizer and seed, I could fill it with either, just with this one truck following them around. So it was a good system. Obviously AR modules are cheaper than hook lift modules, because they don't have to be reinforced to be dragged over the back of a truck or trailer, and the trucks were also a little bit cheaper because they didn't have the hook attachment. That. Okay, do we think... How's that looking? Oh, we've only emptied once into there, so I'm thinking we might be okay. We'll get all of this field in the truck, not a problem. Turn that off. You know what? While we're waiting, I think now is a good time to relocate this. It's still emptying. Alrighty, let's turn this thing around. That's probably straight enough. Hopefully there's still enough room for this guy to get there. Did I turn his? Yeah, his engine's off.